5-yard gain, 3rd down and 1 at the 44. White's gas pass complete to Gavin Hoffman. Gain of 9 yards on the play.
I gotta shake this call.
1st and 10 Huskies at the Tigers' 48-yard line.
Man, band. What the hell is that? That's a touchdown. That's a freaking touchdown.
Touchdown Huskies. A 48-yard run by Grant Stubblefield for a Huskies touchdown.
I think it just does that because it's delayed.
Yeah.
So I'll wait.
The point after attempt is no good. With 2:59 remaining in the first half, our score, Blue Valley Northwest Huskies 27, Blue Valley Tigers 21.
All right.
Is Julian suspended
Yeah.
already?
5 games. All right, folks, I believe that we are back. It's a 27-21 score. You missed another Grant Stubblefield touchdown. So Andre Davis and Trevor Brush hooked up for a receiving touchdown to tie the game at 21. Grant Stubblefield just scored on the ground from about 40 yards out for his 2nd touchdown of the game, making it 27-21. The PAT was missed by the freshman kicker, Trace Rudd. So just a 6-point deficit for Blue Valley with 2:59 to go in the half. And if the Tigers can strike back and score here, they do receive the opening half kickoff of that second half, so they could take the lead in the blink of an eye.
And momentum has played such a key factor in this game so far. Could be huge for Blue Valley to get something going before this half ends.
2:59 to go. So the Tigers are going to need a quick drive here, but they've had a lot of those so far tonight. Explosive drives have not been foreign to the Blue Valley Tigers. Let's see if they can do it again here. This kick is going to be fielded in the end zone by Swarns, which is an automatic touchback. So Swarns looked like he wanted to take that one out. He could not. It'll be 2:59 to go. Tigers got to go all the way down the field. So Trevor Brush and the Tigers come out again after that big touchdown drive last time. Andre Davis made himself one of 2 Tigers that have scored in all 3 games this year.
Looks like Rudman in to replace John Price.
Max Rudman in for his first reps of the game. We'll see what he does with that. Tigers have 4 receivers on the field. Looks like Dalkey on that far side with Swarns, and in motion is Alex Swarns there. So they'll look to throw here. He's looking Swarns' way. Pressure coming. Trevor throws it away. He just evades a sack there, just barely. Good job there by Trevor Brush to turn what could have been a loss of 10 yards there into just an incomplete pass. Trevor slow to get up, but
yeah, Northwest definitely sending the pressure to Trevor Brush there. Fortunate to get it out of his hands and avoid what would have been a big loss for the Tigers.
Yeah, good job there by 11 to get the ball out of his hands. Brady Westfalt was in there. He was the man in motion, so he comes off the field here. Swarns, Davis, and Dalkey all line up on that far side. Gatlin, the lone tight end. They look to the sideline again. Rudman still in the game, so John Price, one of the Tigers' sources of explosive offense is not on the field. They've only got 2:54 to go in the half. They do a reverse to Swartz. He's across the 20, just a short gain there. There may be a yard at about the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 here from the Tigers. They trail by 6 and they get the ball to begin the second half, but the Tigers' last thing they want to do here is give the ball back to Northwest with a chance for them to score before the half can come to a close. A big 3rd down and 9. Another pistol set, and again, that's Max Rudman. Grady Westfall and Andre Davis on the near side of your screen with Swartz and Dalkey on the opposite side. Brush takes the pistol snap. Got plenty of time over the middle, looking for Swartz, and a flag is down. It's going to be pass interference. So on 3rd down and 9, an incomplete pass is going to move the chains for the Tigers.
It looks like Swartz almost certainly would have had him beat for a touchdown. Maybe even a good play by the defensive back there to prevent that.
Clock stopped with 2:06 to go in the half. Blue Valley down by just 6 points. This penalty should prove to be a beneficial one.
Pass interference. Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Result is a 1st down.
And Alex Warren's showing such great open field speed there, beating the coverage and forcing that pass interference.
We've seen now 48 points combined in this first half, 35 of them coming in just that first quarter alone. Tigers looking to add on and get us above 50 points here in just the half. Here's another end around. This one's to Swartz, looking for some room. Swartz again in his first game back, making a huge difference for Blue Valley as he's in to Northwest territory. Down to the 41-yard line on an end-around flip from Brush to Swartz. The clock will stop with 1:57 to go as Swartz gets out of bounds, and the Tigers are cooking.
And Terrell certainly looking to utilize these sweeps to Alex Swartz a lot on this drive. It's been very effective for the Tigers thus far.
Now, I had a chat with receiver Swartz before the game, and as a receiver, he said he's probably going to get more runs this game than he was going to get passes, and so far we've already seen 2 handoffs, and he doesn't have a reception. Obviously, that kick return touchdown as well to complement those handoffs. Brush with a rollout here, far side, fires on the run. Andre Davis was on the ground. There's no penalty flag, so I'm assuming Davis fell down.
Intended for Andre Davis.
Davis was on the ground before the pass had got to him there. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 after that incompletion. And now back into the game is John Price. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 1:35 to go. Tigers still holding on. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Northwest has just 1 left, so if the Tigers can get in the end zone, Northwest won't have much ability to stop the clock. Brush in the pistol again here. 3 wide receivers out to his right. Andre Davis is alone here on the near side. John Price right behind Brush. Brush will look to throw again, dropping back, pressure coming, looks for Price out of the backfield. Price spins out of a tackle, now cuts it back across the 40. Price across the field, and he's brought down by a swarm of Huskies. The Huskies that went for Trevor Brush were able to recover. Good job by them to stay in the play, and they came back and tackled Price from behind. So
Price certainly looking to get creative and switch it up to the open field there. Doesn't work out for him there, but very interesting seeing him. Very aggressive running style that he always has.
If it wasn't for that good job to stay home by the Huskies and stay in that play, Price might have been able to turn that into possibly a 1st down pickup, but now it's another 3rd down. On 3rd and 9, the Tigers converted because of a pass interference call. Now it's 3rd and 10. In motion is Dalkey from right to left. Brush will look to throw on 3rd and long. He's looking Swartz' way. He's got him open across the 30. Swartz breaks the tackle down the far sideline. He'll cut it back. Pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Alec Swartz has made a difference like no other in his first game back. 39 seconds to go in the half, and the Tigers are threatening to claim their first lead of a game.
And
All it would take is a touchdown for Blue Valley.
Alex Swartz turning nothing into something there for the Tigers. Great improvisation by Trevor Brush to move out of the pocket and find Swartz there. Huge gain for the Tigers.
When Swartz caught that pass, it was a question of if he would have the 1st down or not. He was right at that marker, but him breaking that tackle gets the Tigers just outside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal with 39 seconds to go. A touchdown would tie it. That PAT could give the Tigers their first lead of the game. Price on an outside handoff inside the 5. Price just short of the goal line down at the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from there, and there's an injured Husky on the field. Price put his shoulder down there. Northwest trying to make a tackle. Price is not the tallest and biggest guy in the world, but when he puts that shoulder down, he's sure to deliver a pop, and there's a defender down now. So when we come back from this injury timeout, there will be 28 seconds to go. Tigers will have 2nd and goal from the 1 with a chance at their first lead of the game. You love to see that. The injured Husky gets right up. He's on his feet. He heads off the field.
Chase Wernemont there for the Huskies.
Yeah.
And we've seen him on both sides of the ball this game so far.
Wernemont was in there as a wide receiver. There is a cornerback. He takes a pop from Price, and he walks under his own power off the field. So that's a good sight to see here. 28 seconds remain. An exciting half of football so far. I'll reiterate another time. 48 points scored, 35 in that first quarter, or 35 in that first quarter. And if the Tigers can punch it in from the 1-yard line here, that'll make us over 50 points in this half of football alone. The Tigers have not led tonight. They trailed 7-0, then 14-7, then 21-14, and now they trail it 27-21. And a touchdown in the point after can give Blue Valley their first lead of the game. And if they go to the half with the lead, that'll be a huge momentum booster as they will get the ball to start the second half.
Certainly huge opportunity for the Tigers here if they can get the ball off the field.
Blue Valley can make a big difference here in what could seem like the blink of an eye. Just 28 seconds left on the game clock here, and then as the game will resume in the second half, the Tigers will have the next 2 drives most likely. So Northwest looking for a goal line stand here on 2nd down and 1. We haven't really talked about what the Huskies need here momentum-wise. Is it 2nd and 1? We've been talking about the Tigers getting their first lead of the game, but this is huge for the Huskies.
Looks like a wildcat set for John Price. Maybe Trevor Brush out here on the near side of your screen. Maybe some trickery from Terrell here.
Brush is lined up as a wide receiver on that far side. The only man in the backfield, John Price. Price will take the snap, and Huskies are all over that one. Goes to the loss of 1. It'll now be 3rd down and goal. So Terrell tries to trick him. He'll take a timeout with 20 seconds to go. So the Tigers just got to talk about a play on that injury timeout. They'll get more time to talk about another. A lot of stoppages here as the half is coming to a close. 20 seconds to play here left in this first half of football. What a matchup it has been.
And it does look like John Price hobbling off the field there. Looks to be clutching his left wrist. Let's hope he's okay. Definitely would be a huge loss for the Tigers.
Certainly. There's been a couple of playmakers so far tonight. Trevor Garlington with the touchdown. Gavin Hoffman with the touchdown, and Stubblefield has the other 2. Coming in is Grady Westfall. 20 seconds to go. It appears John Price is hurt. He's over there with the trainers right now, it appears. Price on the sideline, so it'll be Max Rudman again, and we've seen Price come out for multiple reasons in these first 2 games. A couple of times it was a leg. This time it appears to be an arm that's being worked on.
And certainly Price feeling the effects of being such a used running back. Looks to be Thomas Harold and Ben Dalkey on that
Trevor,
right side.
With a sprint out pass, he's got nobody open. Pressure coming now, he fires it away, and it's almost caught. Now 4th and goal, so they had 2nd and goal from the 1. They get an incomplete pass there after the Wildcat play fails. Now it's going to be 4th and goal again.
So close. Great opportunity to make the play there for Ben Dalkey, just unable to haul it in.
So it appears to be Alex Swarens and John Price. With Swarens has his pads off, and that's not what you'd like to see. He's made a big difference for the Tigers so far tonight. Price is also over there. So maybe the 2 biggest playmakers of the night so far for Blue Valley are on the sideline on 4th down and goal. They had it at the 1-yard line, and both these players come out, and now they still have it on the 1, 2 downs later.
And certainly a lot of emphasis on senior Thomas Harold to make an impact. He hasn't been used in sometimes getting outshone by Alex Warrens and Andre Davis just because they're such fantastic athletes. and he made a great catch in the Southwest game, but he's still got a lot to prove so far this season.
You just hate to see Swarens there on the sideline. His first game back, he's played maybe better than anybody else tonight. A kick return, some great catches already, a couple of big returns. He's just been explosive for the Tigers, and now he's got his pads off on the sideline. And right next to him is another star for Blue Valley, John Price. Already an explosive touchdown for him as well. But a next man up mentality is going to have to be implemented here on 4th and goal. So from the 1-yard line, Thomas Harold's going to come into the game. Max Rudman is going to come into the game, and Grady Westfall could also get a couple of snaps with that receiver out. Tigers having to go down into the depth chart, but all of these players have seen the field before. Max Rudman with a couple of touchdowns. Thomas Harold has played in both of these first 2 games. Certainly not strangers to the field, but it's the Stars sideline on 4th and goal. No play bigger than this one. 14 seconds to go in the half. Tigers trail by 6 with a chance to tie it and possibly take the lead. And it's going to be another timeout, maybe that one by Northwest. They'll say it's Blue Valley, so they call consecutive timeouts to the Tigers. No, they'll give that one to Northwest, so both teams are out of timeouts. Clock has been inside 20 seconds for a couple of minutes now. Tigers had 2nd and goal from the 1 when these 2 stars come out. Let's see if Blue Valley can punch it in here. If Northwest gets this stop before the half comes to a close, then when the Tigers come out of that second half locker room, they'll have to work just to tie the game back up. But if the Tigers can score here, it'll be a new game as we go to the second half. Blue Valley will receive the football tied or up 1. So 14 seconds to go on 4th and goal. They're at the 2-yard line now. The Wildcat play had backed them up previously. Andre Davis and Gatlin Samuel come off the field here. And we're going to try a field goal. So the timeout there, the Tigers, instead of going for it on 4th down from the 2-yard line, are going to try a field goal with McGuire Richmond to try and cut the deficit to just 3 points.
I think this is the first field goal attempted all year for the Blue Valley Tigers.
This is first field goal attempt of the year. It comes out a line drive, but it's through. Didn't have to look pretty, it counts. And the Tigers have cut the deficit to 3 points. So
With 14 seconds remaining,
Tigers had 2nd goal from the 1, obviously hoping they could punch that one in. But they'll certainly take it. Now just a 3-point game at 27-24. And we are over 50 points now here in the first half. 51 points scored in the game. Remarkable first half of football. So don't leave us, folks, here in 13 seconds when this game comes to a close, because this second half of football should be like no other. A 3-point game as Northwest will get the ball back, and the Tigers will receive the opening half kickoff. They have still not led tonight. Blue Valley has trailed and been able to tie the game a couple of times. Other than that, they've been down at all points in the game tonight. So they'll change the clock now to 11 seconds. The Blue Valley will receive the second half kickoff, and that'll be the first real chance that they'll have to take the lead other than this drive that we just watched them settle for 3 on. 4th and goal before the half. Big decision there for Terrell. It took 3 timeouts combined by both of those teams. Terrell ultimately decided in the field goal unit, and McGuire Richmond had enough leg to get that one through. So the last thing you want here for Blue Valley is another explosive play. We've already seen a couple. Northwest will get at least one play offensively. You'd expect them to go to a knee, but with how Stubblefield's been running, they might try one handoff. This kick hops once before it's into the hands of the Northwest return man across the 10 now, and he slides down. So a passive play there. Northwest maybe wanting to just get one play off, or they could go to a knee and take us to the half. Regardless, an impressive first half of football from both sides. Just 3 points separating these two teams, and the second half of football should be great. 7 seconds to go. Northwest taking some time to think about it over there, so you wouldn't expect them to go down to a knee. That's a pretty simple conversation. Still obviously the possibility, but with that explosiveness of Stubblefield, maybe with 7 seconds to go, you'd expect a run here. So certainly not a knee. It's a pistol set. One wide receiver, no, there's 2 of them, one on each side and a couple of tight ends. White will hand it off to Stubblefield up the middle. Stubblefield has got a hole, now cuts it back. Stubblefield should run out the rest of this clock as he's brought down at the 40. So it's a good run, but it won't prove to be anything there for Northwest. The half comes to a close. 27-24 is the score. Tigers trail it by 3, but that's an impressive half of football. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Hello, folks, and welcome back for the second half of football. 27-24 was your score after one half of play. It's the Huskies over the Tigers right now, but Blue Valley will receive the kickoff to begin this second half. Tigers kicked a field goal with 11 seconds remaining in that first half. They had second and goal from the 1, and it was two big stands from the Huskies to stop them on that second down, and then that third down play forced the Tigers to kick a field goal after a really long discussion there. A couple of timeouts from either side. Tigers ultimately went with the field goal and ended up in a 27-24 three-point game as the first half came to a close.
And this has certainly been such a back and forth game thus far. And looks like we got 2 minutes and 50 seconds until we're gonna get started here.
Players are back on the field warming up. The second half kickoff will resume with 2:40 to go. Let's take you over that first half. It was a kick return touchdown for Alex Swarns. That was the Tigers' first strike of the game. Their second was a one-play touchdown by John Price. So their first two scores of the game were just one-play bursts, a kickoff return and a touchdown there. It was the complete opposite for the first two touchdowns for the Huskies. They had two long methodical drives that ended in a Gavin Hoffman touchdown and a Grant Stubblefield touchdown, and then the next two touchdowns for the Huskies were much different. They had a couple of big plays. One of them was a chunk play by Stubblefield to rush in, and the other one was a chunk reception by Trevor Garlington to get in the end zone. Tigers countered those with Andre Davis receiving touchdown of his own, and then that field goal to end the half. So that's all the scores we have so far tonight. Also, I'll add a missed PAT for Northwest. So they have 4 touchdowns, just 27 points, and a 3-point lead. It's their freshman kicker that missed the point after attempt, which brings the Tigers now to just within 3 instead of what would be a 4-point game. And that could prove to be big for the Tigers here on their opening drive. A field goal could tie the game for him here, but we know Blue Valley's going to want to get into the end zone. Another stat from that first half, the Tigers never led. Tigers were only able to scratch and claw to tie the football game. Other than that, they trailed by 7 most of the time, and then now they trailed by 3 to finish that half. That was just 11 seconds of football.
And the Tigers really looking to take advantage of this opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this game. The Northwest offense has been looking very pragmatic in play action and also implementing the obvious run strategies with Grant Stubblefield. So it's going to be really important for the Tigers to get a momentum switch early in this second half.
Yeah, Blue Valley was down 21-14, and they punted the ball back to the Huskies, and we hadn't really seen a stop yet for the Tigers. We obviously saw the fumble, but we hadn't seen one of those just big stops. And on 4th down and 6, from deep inside the Tiger territory, about the red zone, they went with a 4th and 6. They tried to go for it. They tried to pass to Stubblefield out of the backfield. It went incomplete. That was the Tigers' first big stop of the game. They countered with that touchdown to tie it at 21, and we're hoping the Tigers' defense can get more stops like that to begin this second half. But first up, it'll be the Blue Valley offense looking for their first lead of the game. We had 51 first half points. If we get 51 more, this will be one of the best nights of high school football we've seen all year. The kick return team for Blue Valley gets ready there on the sideline. The stands get going, clock winds down. 4 seconds left until we'll get this second half kickoff. Blue Valley's special team so far has been pretty good so far tonight. A couple of good returns. Swarens obviously busted that big kick return touchdown. We'll see if he can do it again. Alex Swarens will actually be out for the second half of play, it seems, as we look to the sideline. He's in a cast. He has broken his collarbone at one time in his life. Could be a reoccurring injury. He was suspended the first 2 games of the season, comes back tonight, and he just plays all out. His senior season had one of the best games we've seen in quite some time, and now Alex Swarens is on the sideline, pads off, in an arm cast.
And it does look like John Price is accompanied by, it looks to be his mother on the sideline. Seems to be limping heavily on that right leg. That could also be a huge problem for the Tigers offensively in the second half.
So maybe one of the biggest things to talk about as we come into the second half of football is 2 playmakers and stars so far tonight for the Tigers are questionable for the second half, at least as John Price, and Alex Swarens is out indefinitely, at least for this game, and you'd hope it's not longer than that. First game back, and we just saw an absolute dog mentality out of him. He played great football. Got a feel for that kid. First game of the year, and he doesn't get to play his second half. An injury on that 2nd down and 1 goal line stand of a drive. But here we go. Price and Swarens are out. Those were the Tigers' 2 kick returners in the first half. So now we see 2 completely new returners back there. That looks to be Thomas Hoskins on the right, and on the left is Ben Dalkey. So it goes to Hoskins. This is his first time seeing the field all season, and his return is out just short of the 20-yard line.
Kickoff fielded by Thomas Hoskins.
It does look like Blue Valley is going to start with Max Rudman in the backfield. John Price also looked to be limping and clutching his wrist earlier, so 2 different injuries it looks like for Mr. Price.
Despite a good fight for the Tigers in that first half, it's now 2 injuries that may be riddling this roster. They obviously played their first 2 games of the season without Alex Swarens, and they were 2-0 in that period, but just an absolute game changer was Alex Swarens so far tonight, and it'll really hurt the Tigers if he doesn't return to this game. So John Price also out. He had a touchdown in that first half of football. He has scored in all 3 games this season for the Tigers. Certainly an injury that could hurt. Here's a end around to Ben Dalkey. Dalkey's got some room. He's across the 20. Maybe enough for the first down there. Looked like he was just short. We'll see where they mark him. Pickup of at least 8 yards there. They'll get him at about the 26.
And Ben Dalkey looks to be replacing Alex Swarens with that screening action in that play. So Terrell not afraid to go back to his old bread and butter and insert some new players in that system.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 2 now here for Blue Valley after that end around flip on first down. It was a pickup of 8 there for Dalkey. Almost had the marker. John Price isn't in the game here, so Trevor and Rudman turn around and have a chat before the play. They will hand it off to Rudman. Max good for a couple of yards there. It looks like they're going to give him a favorable spot here. See if it's enough to move the chains. They've changed it already to 3rd down and 2. They'll say it's 3rd and 1. So it looked like it was a good spot for Blue Valley. They changed it to 3rd down and 1 there after the carry of just a yard by Rudman. We'll see if they hand it off again. And these 2nd and 3rd and short drives are certainly going to hurt not having Price in the game, because the Tigers could almost be sure he would pick those up. Now it's Max Rudman, obviously a capable backup, but the Tigers are sure going to miss their star running back. Gatlin in motion to begin the play. Quick throw to Gatlin out in the flat, enough for the first down, and pushed out of bounds at around the 30. Trey Ridley exchanges some words with Gatlin after the tackle there, but it's good for a first down for the Tigers.
And certainly a lot of emphasis on these upperclassmen receivers now. Obviously lacking Alex Swarens. They're going to have to go back to what they did against Southwest when they were missing Swarens earlier.
Look for some Thomas Harold looks. He's out there on the field right now, and probably Grady going to get into the game. Ben Dalkey in motion there as they hand it off to Rudman. Rudman found a little bit of a crease there, and he gets out across the 35, and a good first down pickup there. If the Tigers can count on that chunk on first down from Rudman all game, they'll be in good hands. A pickup of about 6 there.
Yards on the play, 2nd down and 5.
They'll give him 5, make it 2nd down and 5 now. Good first down chunk there on the ground for Blue Valley. We'll see if we see more of a heavy dose of the pass without John Price in the game. Brush again talking with Rudman before the snap. See Gatlin and Andre on that near side. Harold and Dalkey on that far side. Gatlin goes in motion. He'll join Harold and Dalkey as it's a handoff up the middle. That one good for just a yard right back at that line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and now 4 yards for the Tigers.
And Rudman's style is such a physical and downhill running style. They're really going to look to implement Dalkey on any run to the inside, and then Max Rudman anything outside as well.
Huge 3rd down again here for Blue Valley. 3rd and 3 yards. They picked up 3rd on a fake handoff and then throw to Gatlin in the flat. We'll see if they do that again. Gatlin's been good on those short distance plays. He's got a touchdown in both of the Tigers' first 2. has not found the end zone tonight. Normally, short passing downs, they look for him. They'll fake the handoff. They do look for Gatlin again, and it goes incomplete on 3rd and 3. They did look for Gatlin. Trevor took a hit. He just barely got it off, and the punt unit for Blue Valley will head onto the field to begin the half. So the Tigers have now had 2 chances to take the lead, and that lead has eluded them so far tonight. Trail by 3, and they'll punt the ball back to Northwest.
For the Tigers. Number 1, Trey Ridley, back deep for the Huskies.
Trey Ridley, the leading tackler for Northwest, also an interception on the season. That's their only pick. He's back deep to return. He's returned most of their punts already tonight. Been an explosive player for them. He fields this one at about the 27, and the ball is out. The ball's out, and Blue Valley has fallen on it. The Tigers have it. The second turnover of the game. Trey Ridley. The ball goes right through his hands, and the Tigers fall on it. A huge break there on special teams. That's the second big special teams play of the night for Blue Valley.
And you have to say that ball security has been an issue now for Northwest. Stubblefield fumbling the ball on the goal line, getting ready to score earlier in this first half, and now a muffed punt.
Good job there by the Tigers to fall on that one as it fell right in front of Ridley. It still looked like he had a chance to jump on it, but Blue Valley with a good job gets right on top of it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers now at the 30-yard line of Northwest. Special teams has been great for Blue Valley. Already a touchdown, and there's the turnover on the punt. Rush will look to throw here on 1st down, and that one is almost intercepted over the head of Andre Davis. Well, Davis is a tall target at 6'4", but Brush threw it over his head there, nearly into the hands of the safety right behind him. It goes incomplete.
And it does look like Max Rudman now limping off the field, and now 3rd-string running back Preston Scott, usually a feature at linebacker for this Blue Valley defense, is going to have to take some snaps in the backfield.
Luckily for the Tigers, though, Scott took most of his reps this offseason at running back. That's what he was planning to play, and this is senior season. He's made the switch to linebacker late in the year, and Scott is certainly a capable backup, but the Tigers now on the depth chart are down to their 3rd-string running back. Price is out, Rudman goes down, and now it's going to be Preston Scott. Next man up mentality for the Tigers. That's what's going to be big for them tonight. Grady Westfall also appears to be in the game. Now that's Thomas Harold down there, but Westfall will get in from time to time. 9:34 to go here in the half. Blue Valley down by 3. Harold, Dalkey, and Davis on that near side. Gatlin alone, he's the tight end on that far side of the field. 3rd and 7. Scott right behind Brush. Tigers will look to pass. A design rollout. Brush fires on the run, looking for Davis, and a great grab inside the 10. It was thrown behind Davis. He did a good job to stop, and he went up there and get it. He beat the corner, Chase Weirmont. Good to see him back in the game. He went down with an injury early on in the game. Andre Davis goes up and over there, and the Tigers pick up another 1st down on 3rd down and long.
And Andre Davis definitely stepping up to fill the shoes of Alex Warrens. We know he is more than capable, but Alex Warren's playing such a huge role in this game so far. It's good to see Davis getting some touches now.
Scott, obviously the 3rd string. He's still yet to get a carry, so we'd love to see what he can do on the ground. Preston Scott was nursing an ankle injury as we came into this game. We did say that in the pregame. So their 3rd-string running back was already a little banged up. They give it to him here. Scott goes up the middle, a pick of about 5 there.
Preston Scott, the ball carrier.
Good job by Preston. It's going to be 2nd and goal now from around the 6 here for Blue Valley.
Gained 3 yards on the play.
8:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers down by 3. They're inside field goal range. We saw McGuire hit one from around this area, but obviously Tigers looking for the lead. They've tied the game at 3 times. They trail right now by 3, and they haven't led yet. Max Rudman back in the game, so Preston Scott got his 1st carry of the year before being subbed out. 2nd down and goal. Brush pitches this one to Rudman, who drops the football. It's still out. Rudman looks like he got on top of it, but Northwest is signaling that it's theirs, and it is Husky football. So the Tigers were in field goal range, and like I've said again, that lead has just eluded them. They get the muffed punt. Rudman had a couple of chances to jump on that there, and now it's going to be the Tigers defense up again.
Now would definitely be a time to go to the run for Northwest and try and demoralize this Blue Valley defense after having such a unfortunate play there almost in the end zone for the Tigers, and now it's going to be going the other way.
That's the best part of the Huskies offense is when they're up late in the game, what they'd want to do on a 3rd and long is the same as what they'd want to do when they're just burning clock, and that's hand the football off to Grant Stubblefield.
And with such a great coaching staff with this Northwest squad, they've been able to mix it up with the play calling and make it always on the heels for this Tigers defense.
Certainly see that exchange there between Brush and the second string running back Max Rudman wasn't clean. Maybe if John Price is in there, it's a different story. So the backups for Blue Valley will seem to be a story tonight, as it's already played a big role in tonight's game.
Grant Stubblefield, the ball carrier.
7:44 to go as the Huskies get the football back. Stubblefield goes for 6 yards there on the first down carry. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 now, still inside their own 20. Another pistol set, 3 wide receivers out on that side. Looks like Gavin Hoffman is alone on the near side, covered by Alec Womble. We've seen a couple of big plays by 5 already tonight. They hand it off to Stubblefield up the middle. Stubblefield looking to fight for that first down. And it looks like the Tigers did a good job there. They limit them to just 2 yards, so they get half of it. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Great effort by that defensive line there to push the pile. It's definitely been a dominant game for this Northwest offensive line, but it's good to see the Tigers fighting back here.
So 6:55 to go, and Stubblefield is stuffed in the backfield. Braden Injewell, 2nd tackle for a loss tonight.
Backfield for a loss by Lincoln Stubbe.
What a great tackle there.
It looks like Lincoln Stuvey in there with the half tackle as well.
6:40 to go left in the game, and the Huskies will punt for the first time tonight. The Tigers offense turns it over, and the defense comes to pick them right back up, and Blue Valley will have their 3rd chance now to try and take the lead.
And Brady, how huge could this be for this Blue Valley Tigers defense if they can start getting some edge pressure on Grant Stubblefield? It opened up so many things for them.
Got to be a big momentum thing there. 3rd down and 2, handing it off to Stubblefield seemed to be an automatic first down so far tonight. This time it was not. They got into the backfield, and it's just a great play by that Tigers front. Punt is going to be down at around the 40-yard line.
41-yard punt by Connor White.
So there's a flag down.
It looked to be some extracurriculars there from Robert Marshall.
Coach Terrell does not seem to be impressed. Ref still chatting about it over there. So some extracurriculars may cost the Tigers a couple of yards here. Their drive would begin at the 39-yard line. We'll see who the penalty goes on. It already looks like it's going to be Robert Marshall of the Tigers.
During the kick, holding on the return team. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
So they're just going to get a hold on Blue Valley. It backs them up 10 more yards. So their drive will begin at the 29-yard line. So here comes the Blue Valley offense. It's their 3rd drive of this half alone. Still no score in this half of football. At this time in the last half, we had a 21-14 game, I believe, with 7 minutes to go. This time we've got no score here in the 3rd quarter. Brush having a chat with the ref here before their 3rd drive of this half begins. Harold on that near sideline with Dalkey to his right. Andre Davis is alone up top. Tight end Gatlin Samuel is over there with Davis.
It looks like Wernemont here has been playing basically the entire game at cornerback and wide receiver for Northwest. Really impressive stuff.
And they'll look to throw Weremont's way, and it's Ben Dalkey. No, that's Harold right over Weremont. So that's the 2nd one in a row that Weremont's been beaten on. Andre Davis had a big catch in that same spot, and then there's Thomas Harold making a great sideline grab to get the Tigers back out to the 40-yard line.
And that play certainly begs the question, is it too much for number 15 out there? Both sides of the ball can be very tiring.
We already saw him go down with an injury. Now we see number 11 over there. That's Will Hadley. We saw Weremont go down with an injury early in this one. He got up off the field in his own power. He was hurt making a tackle of John Price. He came back into the game, so injuries have been a story tonight as Rudman looks like he's got a hole there on the outside. Able to get out to the 45. They'll give him 4 yards there.
Tackle by Nate Livingston. Gain of 4 yards on the play, second down and 6 from the
5:20 remains here in this third quarter. Tigers trail by 3 as they near midfield. We saw an explosive first half and first quarter of football, 35 points in that first quarter, and now this first quarter of the second half, we're still scoreless with only 5 minutes to go. Brush fakes the handoff, now looks to throw. He's got Dalkey on the outside, looking for an edge is Dalkey. He cuts it back inside, and he's back just in front of that line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard, and it's going to be another big third down here for Blue Valley. Tigers picked up a lot of big third downs on their last drive. Obviously, that drive stalled by the fumble. It was a miscommunication between Rudman and Brush. Maybe not a miscommunication, just they couldn't quite handle the ball. It was a designed pitch play outside. Brush had pressure on him. Pitch didn't quite get into Rudman's hands safely, and the Tigers turned it over. But the defense did a good job to force the first punt of the night for Northwest, and now Blue Valley's got it on 3rd and 4.
Now it looks like Grady Westfall checking in that 3-man side on that right side, and then Andre Davis on the bottom of the screen.
Should see a lot of him tonight. Here's a quick throw, and that one is going to be caught. Is that Harold inside the 40? It's Ben Dalkey with another big grab, and he has really stepped up since the injury by Swarens. Dalkey is a set starter. He really has been all year, but with that injury from Swarens, he's really stepped up now into that number 2 role offensively. As Andre Davis obviously going to lock down the 1, but Dalkey steps in. He's taken the role of Alex Swarens, and he's really played well. So it's 1st down and 10 Tigers. They get another big 3rd down conversion. There's 3:55 to go. Pistol set here from Brush. Brush dropping back, looking, fires over the middle. He was looking for Gatlin. It looks like his hands were tied up. It's incomplete. It looked like Ridley in coverage.
It looks like number 3 Beckett Linden with the coverage for the Huskies.
It's number 3 is Colin Matile there on the coverage. So 2nd down and 10 now here from Blue Valley. It's a pistol set here for Trevor Brush. Max Rudman in the backfield. Grady Westfall still in the game. He's lined up to the right of Andre Davis. Harold and Dalkey on that right side. They put a man in motion. It has been Dalkey. They fake it to him. Now throw to Westfall over the middle. It's tipped, and it's incomplete. The officials say he didn't catch it. It did look like it bounced, but the ref seemed like he was going to call that one a catch. It did go incomplete. I believe that's the correct call. Blue Valley fans obviously not agreeing with that one, hoping that it would be a Grady Westfall catch of a 1st down. Instead, it'll be another 3rd down and long. Tigers have really succeeded offensively on 3rd down tonight, despite having a lack of production on 1st and 2nd down. We'll see Brush again in a pistol set. You'd assume the Tigers are going to pass here. Davis is alone on the left side. Now they motion Dalkey over there with him. That's where Brush is looking. Pressure coming. Brush rolls out. Pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. And that one's going to go incomplete. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. That's the 2nd, maybe 3rd time that the Huskies have knocked down a pass at the line so far tonight. And inside of Husky territory, the offense stays on the field. On 4th and 10, the Tigers are going to go. No business punting from your opponent's side of the field. Blue Valley's going to go for it. Does Terrell have a 10-yard play in the book here on 4th down? 3:36 to go in the quarter. A big play to begin this half.
Definitely an aggressive play call here from Terrell. Not sure if McGuire's got the leg for the field goal.
Brush still looking. Now rolls out to his right. Pressure coming. He can't find anybody. 4th and 10. Lofts one up, and it's incomplete for Thomas Harold. That's great coverage there by the Huskies. Brush had plenty of time. The offensive line did its job. Nobody's open. And like I said, once again, the Tigers just can't find a way to take that elusive lead. Still trail it by 3 points. Best they've had tonight is a tie game. Down by 3. Defense forced a punt on the last drive. That was the first Huskies punt of the game. We'll see if that defense can stop them yet again. Hopefully picking up some momentum is the dark side. Here come the Huskies for the 2nd time this drive. So Grant Stubblefield really wasn't stopped in that first half. Tigers did a great job on 3rd and 2 to get into the backfield and finally get that tackle for a loss. They had just 1 in that first half.
Actually in motion here.
Tigers sent some heat, but Stubblefield fights through it, and he'll be brought down at the 40. Pickup of about 6 yards there. So it'll be 2nd down and 4. It looked like Stubblefield had a big opening there. Good tackle by Braden and Jewell to get him from behind. They give him 7 yards there, 2nd down and 3.
2nd down and 2 from the 41-yard line.
We're under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Still no points in the half. After a 51-point first half, we are skunked here in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers jump, and they're going to get Blue Valley here. Braden and Jewell.
And it does look like Will Stroud here checking in for the Tigers in the secondary. Interesting move for the Tigers. Will Stroud has served most of his snaps as the punter for this team. But possible injury for the Tigers defense here.
Yeah, Will Stroud is sophomore, junior, and freshman year was a safety for Blue Valley, became a punter this season. Now he's back in at that safety position. We'll see if he can come up big and make a play here. 1st down and 10. Huskies nearing midfield here at the 46-yard line. Tigers crowd getting loud here on 1st and 10. Stubblefield put in motion. They look his way. Now he's going to run up the middle. It's Colin White, and he's brought down. A pickup of a couple of yards there. They'll give him 2. Looked like he was going to be sacked, and instead he turns it into a 2-yard gain. Still a positive play there for the Tigers. You only allow 2 on 1st down after giving up 6 on that last 1st down play, so good job there.
Great job by these underclassmen defensive linemen here. Lincoln Stuvey and Manafagatu have improved a lot over the course of this game.
Tigers are really going with a lot of 2nd and 3rd string players here. We see Will Stroud in the game. He didn't play safety in either of the first 2. And obviously the injury by Swartens and Price. We hope to see Price in at least the 4th quarter, but he's still on the sideline. Here's a fake handoff and a sprint out pass. They've got a man wide open. That's Gavin Hoffman, and he can't haul it in. Wide open. It was Will Stroud in coverage, and maybe the presence of the punter is enough to disrupt the pass.
Hoffman was incomplete.
Will Stroud with some loud footsteps there behind Gavin Hoffman as it just goes in and out of his hands. And the interim safety makes a nice play there.
With 8 yards to go. It's 3rd.
And how big a play this could be for the Huskies' momentum going for the rest of this game. If you're Connor White, these are the kind of plays that you need to make down the stretch.
1:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They didn't punt in the first half. They've had 1 drive this 2nd half, and it ended in a punt. Now 3rd and 8. Can the Tigers force a 2nd consecutive punt? White, it's a low snap. He looks to throw over the middle. He's got his man completed and good for a 1st down, so they do pick it up. Big play there. It looked like Trevor Garland there on the catch.
Run down the play by McGuire Richmond. Gain of 11 yards, 1st down and 10 Huskies at the Tigers' 42-yard line.
That's a crusher there for the Tigers. They force a 3rd and 8. Looked like momentum was finally leaning in their direction. They've already had momentum kind of go their way in the 2nd half, just couldn't get it done offensively. Looked like they were going to get another stop, but a big 1st down there on 3rd and long. Now the Huskies with a fresh set of downs. This will be a handoff up the middle. Stubblefield, it's got some room inside the 30, 20, out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Stubblefield was just pushed out of bounds with 1:10 to go now here in the 3rd quarter. Looked like he was going to go all the way. Stubblefield gets pushed out of bounds, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Tigers at about the 13-yard line.
1st down and 10 Huskies at the Tigers.
And just when you think the Tigers' defensive line is starting to get the jump on Grant Stubblefield, he breaks off another one of those 10, 15-yard runs.
Blue Valley looking to implement some bend but don't break mentality here. Even if they can hold the Huskies to a field goal, they can keep it within 1 possession. Now we've got whistles on the field. Seems to maybe just be a sideline malfunction over there. Something went wrong on that far sideline. So no penalty, no timeout. Play will resume. 1:10 to go here in the quarter. Will Stroud still in the game. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Tigers really need a big stop here. Got to keep him out of the end zone. Handoff, Stubblefield, near sideline, inside the 10. Stubblefield at the 5 before being pushed out of bounds, and he's close to that 1st down marker. Tigers have had chance after chance here to try and fight their way back into the game. Already 3 possessions in this half. They haven't been able to score. A 4th down and 10 that they turned over on downs. They fumbled it once and they punted the other time. Huskies have just had that one drive, obviously, where they punted and then the muffed punt. And now the Huskies on their first sustained drive of the half might pull ahead by 2 scores. We haven't seen a lead over 7 in tonight's game. And Braden Engel jumped. That's maybe his 3rd time tonight. We've already saw it on the drive. And on 2nd and 1, that'll move the chains. Should be a half the distance to the goal penalty. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 3.
And those are just not mistakes that you can make against especially a run-heavy team in the end zone like this.
30 seconds to go here in the quarter. We saw 35 points in the first quarter of the first half. Now here in the first quarter of this second half, we're scoreless with only 30 seconds to go. Defenses have really stepped up in this game. Biggest lead of the night is just 7 points. Tigers have never led, but a chance for the first 2-score lead of the game. Tigers have squandered a couple of opportunities already tonight, and Northwest can capitalize here. 1st and goal, Stubblefield to carry, right up the middle and right into the end zone. Touchdown number 3 on the night for Grant Stubblefield. That'll stretch the lead out to 2 scores with 9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Tigers are going to have a great 4th quarter if they want to win this game. Offensively, they've had 3 chances already tonight, or this half. Haven't been able to get it done, and now it's turned into a 33-24 score, and with this PAT, it would make it a 10-point game. We've already seen 1 missed point after attempt tonight, but it's 2 scores whether it's good or not.
And Brady, this consistent offense has been definitely paying off for Northwest. They've been very consistent and persistent in this game against the Tigers, especially with the Tigers coming back.
That point after is good, make it a 10-point game with 9 seconds to go. So the 3rd quarter coming to an end, but we still have an entire quarter of play, so plenty of time for the Tigers to get back into it, but they're going to need a touchdown right here. This is a big statement drive for Blue Valley. They started with the football this half, couldn't get in. They forced a turnover, couldn't get in, and they forced a punt, and they couldn't get into the end zone. Tigers need it here, down by 10.
And Blue Valley certainly not wanting to give the ball back to this Northwest offense, especially when they can run the clock down with the run plays from Grant Stubblefield. It could be a very quick fourth quarter for them.
Yes, certainly not the team you want to play when you're from behind in the game, because this is a heavy run attack, and obviously that keeps the clock moving for most of that quarter unless obviously somebody gets out of bounds. Tigers defense is going to need to step up, but before that, they're going to need to get into the end zone. So let's see what Coach Terrell and Trevor Brush can dial up on this drive to get their first points of the half. They need at least 3 to make it a game. Back deep to return again is Thomas Hoskins and Ben Dalkey. The second half, we've seen 2 completely returners, all due to injury. The 2 fastest and possibly the 2 biggest playmakers for the game both go down for the Tigers, and if they end up dropping this one, that could end up being a big reason why. This kick is away, and it is into the end zone. Hoskins fields it, and it's a touchback, so the Tigers will begin their drive at the 20-yard line. Let's see if the Tigers can fight their way back into the game. 9 seconds to go in this third quarter, so we should just see one play before they switch sides. Still an exciting first 3 quarters of action. Tigers have a chance to cut it back down to a score. Biggest lead of the game so far is right now at 34-24 Huskies. The Tigers are unbeaten. Huskies are coming off of a pretty convincing loss as Aquinas, one of the better teams in this league, came in and had a pretty convincing win against them, but bouncing back pretty well. 34 points already in the game for the Huskies against an unbeaten Blue Valley Tigers team. In motion is Andre Davis this time. Brush will look to throw out of the backfield. He's got Rudman. Some room for Rudman across the 20, out of bounds at the 25. Clock will stop with 3 seconds left. Tigers will get another play before this third quarter comes to a close.
A gain of 7 yards on the play.
3 ticks to go left in this quarter. Tigers will get off one more play. It was a pickup of 7 there. So it'll be second down and 3 here for the Tigers. Rudman in the backfield. Andre Davis lined up in the slot position. Here's a handoff to Rudman, and he gets out to the 30. Should be good for a first down.
We've reached the end of the third quarter.
We'll see where they mark it. It's right at the marker. The third quarter comes to an end, so we'll either have 3rd down and 1 or 1st and 10 when we come back. An impressive 3 quarters of play. We'll switch sides here. Tigers will be at about the 29-yard line, maybe the 30. Still no signal on if they call it a 1st down or not. An exciting 3 quarters of football, though. 34-24, Tigers trail. There's just 12 minutes left to play. Here at Blue Valley High, as the unbeaten Tigers are possibly on the verge of suffering defeat for the first time this season.
And certainly Northwest might be in the same position if the Tigers, if they didn't face St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the better teams. They'll certainly be one to look out for the 5A playoffs.
And really just injuries have riddled this offense. We saw in the first half they scored with ease almost every time, but then those 2 players went down on 2nd and goal from the 1, and we didn't see them get in. And now we haven't seen them get in that second half without those 2 players, Swarns and John Price. So they're yet to get into the end zone without Price and Swarns. We'll see if they can finally do it here. They'll have 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. So they do call it a Tiger 1st down. That's big for Blue Valley. Look to the sideline. John Price is still on that medical bench. He's yet to take off his pads. Swarns had them off. He's in a cast. So Price is possibly still questionable to get back in there. You know, more than anything, that kid's going to want to play. Anything to help his team.
And certainly a lot more pressure now on quarterback Trevor Brush in this passing game.
Very strange that the Tigers had an impressive offense. Now here's Gatlin Samuel. The tight end was wide open, and it goes incomplete. And that just goes back to the point I was getting ready to make. It's weird. Tigers scored 24 points in that first half of football. And with John Price this season, they've had one of the highest scoring offenses in the EKL. And now without Price and Swarns, Tigers are scoreless without him. And they had a drive at the 1-yard line. Well, obviously they got a field goal there, but they don't have a touchdown yet with Price out of the game.
And the Tigers certainly have been looking to get Ben Dalkey and Andre Davis going. They've had some isolated success, but no prolonged success leading to a touchdown so far in the second half.
And there was one that could have been a big play. There would have been around the 40 of the Huskies. Gatlin was open just over his head. Now it's 2nd and 10. Quick throw here. Grady with the catch. He bobbles it. Still holds on across the 50. Grady with breakaway speed. Stumbles down to the 31-yard line. Grady Westfall juggled that football for quite some time. It was into his hands, out of his hands. He bounced it to himself a couple of times before finally securing it and turning on the afterburners. Tigers pick up a 1st down there. They get to right about where Gatlin Samuel's catch would have been. So Blue Valley now finally finding some good offense here. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. A man in motion. That's Ben Dalkey. They'll throw it to him. Dalkey's got some room to run. Now inside the 30, makes a nice move. Dalkey breaks a tackle and is down to the 21-yard line. The line to gain was the 21. We'll see if they move the chains with this one. It seems they will. No, they will not. 2nd down and 1. They'll put him at the 22. Line to gain is the 21.
And Coach Alan Terrell definitely using a lot of motions for Gatlin Samuel and Ben Dalkey in the second half.
Motion definitely a staple of this Tigers offense. They hand it off on 3rd and 1, and Rudman with an aggressive run. He announces his authority here in this half. A big 1st down there for the Tigers. Now inside the red zone is Blue Valley. First time this half the Tigers have gotten inside that 20-yard line. More than ever, the Tigers need a score here. 10:58 to go, and that clock is going to start hurting them more and more. The run game of Northwest is going to prove to hurt the Tigers. They've got to get in quickly. They need the ball back, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. They got to score here first. Throw out to Dalkey in the flat, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain on the play.
Tackle on the play by Chase Wehrman.
That'll be 2nd down and 11. They'll say it went for a loss of a yard. Grady Westfall subs in for Gatlin Samuel, so Westfall will play the role of the tight end here. Already saw a big grab for Westfall. It'll be Thomas Harold, Dalkey, Westfall, and Andre Davis, the 4 wide receivers on the field here for Blue Valley, with Max Rudman in the backfield. Brush with a pistol set on 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Got Dalkey again, and Dalkey is hit hard, and that's back-to-back plays. They've gone to Dalkey in the flat, and that's back-to-back plays. Northwest has blown it up. A loss of 1 on consecutive passes. You don't see that often, passes going for loss of the yards, especially on consecutive downs. So now it's 3rd and 12. An interesting play call there. We saw it work, or not work, on first down. Dalkey lost a yard, and then they run a variation of the same play. Just went to Dalkey out in the flat. They lose a yard again. Now 3rd and 12. Tigers had big plays to get themselves down here. We'll see what they do on 3rd and long. Certainly 4-down territory. We've already saw them go for it once. So maybe just looking for half of it here. Quickly pressured over the middle, tipped and almost picked off. Samuel looked open. Good defense there, knocked away.
And McGuire Richmond, not a true kicker here. This would definitely be a tester for him from this range. We'll see what Coach Terrell does as far as play calling.
Charlie Weinrich not on that Tigers team, so this would normally be a almost automatic kick for last year's star kicker, but instead they'll go for it on 4th and 12. We saw them fail to convert on 4th and 10, and now a big 4th and 12, and this really defines the game right here. They need it now. If they don't get in here, they'll be down by 10, and they'll need 2 stops. Brush rolls out to his left, fires to the sideline, heavily contested, and that one falls incomplete.
Huskies take over on downs. 1st down and 10.
Well, in the first half, we were looking at a shootout of a game. 21-14 was the score in that first quarter. 35 points. Now we have just 7 in this half of football with 9:17 to go.
And
certainly
you do have
the
to
defenses
say,
have stepped up.
Do have to say that this game looks to be slipping out of the Tigers' grasp. Definitely need some huge initial plays from this defense on this drive to really get down the throat of Northwest, or else it looks like they're just going to run this one all the way.
And you can't say the Tigers didn't have a chance to get it done. There were multiple drives where they had a chance to go up and take the lead, and then they had a chance to do it again and again. Their defense got them off the field. Their defense only allowed 7 points in this half, and if you told me that the Tigers would only allow 7 points in the second half, I would assume that they'd be leading right now. I would assume they'd had a couple of touchdowns. Here's some trickery on a flip underneath. Out of bounds he goes after a pickup of 6, so Northwest obviously going to try and get into the end zone again. That was Jay-Sean there on the carry.
Definitely also Northwest not shy of the mistake tonight as well. The Tigers have been granted a couple turnovers from loose ball security and just haven't been able to take advantage fully.
Don't count out the Tigers yet, though. Still 8:50 to go. They've got a chance to get the football back, but they're going to need a couple of turnovers here. They need 2 stops in the game, and I'll have you know they've only forced 1 punt tonight.
Certainly would have to get into this backfield for Grant Stubblefield here.
2nd and 6, you're almost certain who it's going to. There's Stubblefield up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and then is brought down. It's going to be 3rd down at about 3, maybe 4 yards. They got about half of it there. No 3rd down bigger than this. A 3 and out after the Tigers turning it over would just be huge for Blue Valley. They would only lose about 2 minutes. There's still 8 minutes to go, so plenty of time. They really do need it here. If that 4th down play wasn't the biggest of the game, this 3rd down could be bigger.
And these 3rd down chances to stop Northwest are certainly rare with Stubblefield back here.
Just one receiver showing a heavy run set. They give it to Stubblefield. Stubblefield has got the 1st down, and that's a big play out to the 45. And when the Tigers needed it most, they give it to Stubblefield. The bread and butter for Northwest there. Tigers needed a stop, but the Huskies go to their star player of the night. Don't the Tigers wish they had their star running back, number 23. Tigers have no touchdowns without him. They've had 4 drives this half, and I believe John Price could have helped them enter the end zone on at least one of them, not to mention what Alex Swarens was doing in that first half. He's now in a cast on the sideline. Injuries for the Tigers, playing a huge difference in tonight's game, and now it's all Northwest game. It's Northwest games to lose at this point. They've got it about sealed. 7:37 and a 2-score lead with the football and a chance to score again here. A false start there.
5-yard penalty.
This could be huge for the Tigers. If they can stop Stubblefield, all they've got to do here is look to stop the run. Time is ticking away. There was 10 minutes when the Huskies started this drive. There's 7:37 to go. Another 1st down will just eat it away, that clock. The Tigers are going to need to get the ball back here and score, and then they'll need to get it back again and score. So 7 minutes Not really enough time to do that, you'd think, but they're going to need it now. They fake the handoff, look to throw. Down the middle of the field, open, caught, Jay-Sean down the sideline, 20, 5, no one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Jay-Sean White. And this one is about over. It looks like the Tigers might suffer their first loss of the season, as it's a 40 spot put up by Northwest, their second touchdown of the half. PAT would make it 41-24. Tigers are shut out in the second half so far. And although it looks like a blowout, the Tigers have had chances to take the lead, to get back in it. Northwest is just taking advantage. The Tigers have not capitalized on the chances. Northwest has.
And certainly this one has been pretty close until the last couple minutes here. The Tigers have multiple chances earlier, and certainly the momentum that Alex Swarns was carrying early in the game has been completely halted here with his injury.
PAT by the freshman makes it a 17-point deficit. So the Tigers are going to need 3 scores in the final 7 minutes. Crazier things have happened, as they say, but it's going to take a miracle here at Blue Valley tonight. Tigers may need some more special teams magic, a kick return, maybe another fumble, and then a touchdown, and then a touchdown.
And probably an onside kick as well.
It'll take a miracle here for the Tigers. 7 minutes to go. They do still have 3 timeouts. They're going to need all 3 to be quick scores, and they're going to need to find a way to finally tackle Stubblefield. He's had an absolute game so far tonight, and they've taken the top off a couple times as well as Northwest. Blue Valley sells out on the run, and especially there, you'd expect them to run the football out. With 7:18 to go in one of the best run games, Blue Valley looked like they wouldn't stop it, and obviously they sell out to the run there, and they go over the top for an easy touchdown. Well, injuries for the Tigers and missed opportunities. Maybe their downfall of tonight's game. 24 points in the first half for Blue Valley. They have not scored yet in the second half. They've had 4 drives. They do lose Alex Swarns and John Price. Can't emphasize it enough. The Tigers haven't been into the end zone without 23 on the field. Tigers set to receive the kickoff again. It's again the junior, Thomas Hoskins and Ben Dalkey. This is their first time being back there to return this season. Dalkey did it while Swarns was serving his 2-game suspension, so he's in normal territory, but the junior Hoskins hasn't seen the field much, if at all, this season. So when players go down, obviously a chance for others to step up. We've seen the receivers do that. Grady Westfall's had a good game. We've seen some good catches from Harold. Obviously some good plays by Dalkey, but it's just when they get down into that red zone, they can't find the end zone without their run game with number 23. Line drive kick, 1 hop, and into the end zone for a touchback.
Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. Tigers take over first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
It'll be 7 minutes and 18 seconds left for Blue Valley in a 17-point game. It was just a 3-point game at the half. We were looking at a great night of football, and now that's turned into 14 unanswered by the Huskies. It's certainly gotten out of hand, but Tigers still have a chance to get back in the game.
And you have to say enough cannot be said about senior running back Grant Stubblefield. He has been consistent from the first whistle to the last, and it has been fantastic for this Husky side tonight.
Only one hiccup on the game. It was that fumble down at the 1-yard line, but other than that, he's really been their playmaker. They couldn't have won this game without Stubblefield, just as I'd like to say the Tigers can't really win it without John Price.
And very similar offenses going into this game, very run-heavy based offenses, and John Price getting injured definitely didn't help the Tigers.
Run heavy with that star receiver. It's Gavin Hoffman for the Huskies and Andre Davis for the Tigers. That star receiver, that star running back combo has really been what these teams have leaned on so far this season. We knew it was going to be a good game coming in. The first half showed us that, but here it's been all Huskies in this second half of football, and it's just capitalizing on those big plays. And on 2nd and 10, down by 17 points, the Tigers hand the football off, and you wonder Wonder why that one's going to happen there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 now with under 7 minutes to go.
21-yard line.
Well, you know you need 17 points and you know you need it quick. So on 2nd and 10, let's hand the football off. 6:50 to go. Tigers need a big play here. They've been relatively good on 3rd and long so far this game. Just those two where they couldn't convert on 4th and 10 and 4th and 12. Obviously that means they didn't convert on the 3rd down prior. 6:30 to go. The clock continues to tick. Tigers need to show a sense of urgency. Brush looks like he's looking for Davis. He does fire it up. Double coverage and incomplete. Just a heave and a miracle there. It'll be 4th down and 9.
Brings up 4th down and 9 from the 21-yard line.
All the momentum is shifted, and the Tigers are going to punt down by 17. Seems as if they've conceded that the outcome of this game won't be in their favor as they punt down by 17 points.
And it does seem to be that the Tigers are getting some of their seniors onto the field now.
Blue Valley, I think they do have the highest scoring offense through their first 2 games. They put up a mass amount of points, and it looked like that was going to continue. 24 points in the first half. Looked great. This is a good punt inside the 20. Finally fielded. There was nobody back there to return it, so a good punt there. Tigers down it inside the 20. Sure, we'll get a heavy dose of Grant Stubblefield here with just 6:14 to go. But the Tigers coming in at a high-scoring offense, one of the most high-powered offenses. We saw 24 points in the first half, and you can call it a bad second half. You can call it whatever you want, but on the sideline is number 16 and number 23, and the Tigers haven't scored without him. Could be a coincidence, or it could be that Blue Valley needs that star running back. So now Will Stroud remains in the game. Tigers defense has really played great tonight. Despite allowing 41 points, they forced a couple of big stops to begin this half of football. Tigers were only down 3 when the second half began. We'll see how aggressive the Tigers are with timeouts here. Obviously, they just punted the football, so we'll see what factor that has to play in the game. They'll hand it off on 1st down, as you'd assume, and Stubblefield's into the secondary. About 12 there on 1st and another 1st down.
And really no reason here for Northwest to switch up with Stubblefield being so effective in this game.
An impressive second half of football from the Huskies. Haven't seen much better all year run game wise. And Grant Stubblefield, we said it coming in, he's played 2 games this year and he's got 449 rushing yards, averaging about 226 a game, and he came in here tonight and they've handed it off to him, and he has had a couple of bursts. Definitely the majority of their offense tonight. Maybe another 200-yard rushing night again for Stubblefield. He has been great. In a 40-point effort for the Huskies, we've seen 65 points in the game. So that's what happens when 2 high-powered offenses clash. All of the Tigers' 24 come in that first half. 14 in the second half of football for the Huskies. Still a packed student section for the Blue Valley Tigers. Obviously, they believe that there's still hope in this game. A little bit of the upper sections have cleared, but fans staying, they continue to provide their support to this struggling Tigers team tonight. 2-0 on the season, at least for 5 more minutes, is Blue Valley. If the Huskies win this game, they will improve to 2-1 to match the Tigers' record. You'd assume in the playoffs these teams will probably face again, and you'd hope by that time Alex Swarens is healthy. You've got to hope that that isn't a big injury there. Obviously in a cast, not what you'd like to see. John Price just sitting there on that medical bench. You'd hope he'll be back next week for the Tigers.
Yep, and certainly would have loved to see those 2 players out featuring in this second half, and would certainly love to see the game again in the playoffs. They might meet in regionals as well, so definitely one to look out for as this season progresses.
So the Tigers, if the score stays the same, will fall to 1-1 on the homestand before they go on the road. And here's an over-the-top throw again. They beat the secondary. Appeared to be Jay Sean White inside the 10. 4:16 to go. The bleeding doesn't stop for the Tigers. A flag is down, but there's also an injured Husky, so this flag could be on the Tigers. Blue Valley believes it is on them. The Huskies believes it's a Blue Valley penalty. Refs are going to chat about it back at around the 35-yard line. Tigers believe the penalty will go on them and the play will stand. So Jay-Sean inside the 10-yard line. He's had a big game. So the receiver's getting incorporated really on just chunk plays, not a lot of receptions, just a lot of yards. Obviously the play action fake, everything that's been happening. Tigers are selling out to the run.
Defense. After this is the goal line. First down.
So instead of this penalty being declined, it'll go on top of the play. So he was tackled at the 9, and they'll tack on about 4.5 more yards as they'll go half the distance of the goal from there. We see the official spotting the football right now. 4:16 to go in this final quarter of play. Big lead here for the Huskies, and the bleeding hasn't stopped yet for the Tigers, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Huskies want to score again. Stubblefield with 2 touchdowns already tonight.
And it looks like it's going to go straight back to him here in this strong formation.
And it does. Up the middle goes Stubblefield into the end zone. Maybe just down at the 1. No, they'll say he's in. Another Grant Stubblefield touchdown.
Run by Grant Stubblefield for a Huskies touchdown.
Huskies up to 47 points of the night. And who saw the second half going this way? 20 unanswered points right now for Northwest. The Tigers have been shut out in this half of football. They kicked a field goal to make it a 3-point game with 11 seconds to go, did Blue Valley. And now this one, it's been over for a while, it seems. Tigers punted down 17. Now it's gotten just a little bit worse than that. Another touchdown to make it 20 unanswered, and if the PAT goes through, it'll be 3 consecutive scores. Huskies with a dominant second half. Great half of football.
And certainly now with the scoreline being as it is, you can't put all the blame on John and Alec. Certainly big losses for the Tigers, but defensively they just have not been able to figure out the code that is Grant Stubblefield in this offensive line.
Really the good stuff we saw defensively for the Tigers was to begin that half. They forced a punt, and then that muffed punt they got on top of the ball. They gave their offense 3 consecutive drives. Technically 4 if you even want to go back to the first half. They had the drive where they kicked the field goal. They began the half with the football. They then forced a punt and then had the fumble. Tigers had 4 consecutive drives, and the score never changed during all of those drives. It remained 24 to 27. Unsportsmanlike penalty on the Tigers. So for the PAT, they'll enforce the unsportsmanlike on the kickoff to Blue Valley. 3:57 to go in the game. Tigers with a great first half effort. We saw stuff that we'd seen all season. We saw why they were 2-0 in the first half. Some great offense, good defense from the Tigers. We saw a turnover. They got a stop when they needed it. And offensively, they got into the end zone when they needed to. This second half, there's been a couple of 4th downs. They've had, obviously, 4 chances to take the lead. And they just couldn't do it offensively. They couldn't get it done when they needed to.
Huskies 48, Blue Valley Tigers 24.
Despite it being 48-24, most of this game felt like it was a really close contested game until this second half began, and really even the 4th quarter. It was just a 10-point game with 9 seconds left in that 3rd quarter. So Tigers just kind of gave it away in this 4th quarter. Can't take away from what the Huskies have done, though, offensively. Being able to run the ball with efficiency. The Tigers knew they were going to run it, and the Huskies still successful. Grant Stubblefield, obviously tonight's player of the game. 6'1", 185 pounds. Tigers couldn't bring him down with consistency tonight. Only 2 or 3 tackles for a loss. I will say Braden Injewell got into that backfield a couple times. I saw 2 tackles for a loss by him. Alec Womble with some good pass breakups defensively. Really some good things for the Tigers tonight. If you look at the first half, and if you look at those big defensive drives they had to begin the second half, Tigers played a good football game.
And also certainly have to say, Connor White stepping into some huge shoes to fill at Blue Valley Northwest, having to replace senior quarterback Mikey Pauley, who was fortunate enough to win the Simone Award last year. And that was a main catalyst for Northwest taking that all the way to state.
So you don't see this often. Northwest is going to be doing the kickoff at their own 25-yard line, and the kick returners are at the 20. So what normally would be a touchback, Blue Valley believes is going to be their minimum yardage here. The sportsmanlike penalty was on Northwest, not Blue Valley. 3:57 to go. Tigers are going to get the football back. This kick is away. It'll be fielded at the 25-yard line and dropped there by Hoskins. Now he'll pick it up and look to run with it at the 30, and he turns around before being brought down. 3:49 to go, and we'll see what the Tigers do here offensively. Sophomore Chris Alio looks like he's going to be in the game at quarterback. Number 12 is in that huddle right now. Trevor Brush also in the huddle, so maybe Anelio just trying to listen in and learn from his senior quarterback. We'll see what the Tigers go with here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Right. 15-yard penalty. First down. Third quarter.
And certainly with Trevor Brush being the senior, wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to see some younger guys get some snaps at quarterback, especially with the game being as futile as it is now.
Tigers do go with their starting offense. There's really no backups in the game, it does appear. And if you look at this game for the Tigers, they didn't play a bad game. They really just played a bad fourth quarter. And if you go offensively, they did have a bad third quarter as well. That second half is what killed them. But defensively, they had a great third quarter. And then it was that fourth quarter that really just hurt both sides of the football. Maybe all the momentum was gone. We saw how big of a role momentum played in that first half. When a team got a spark, they really capitalized. In this second half, we really only saw Northwest capitalize off those big plays. Brush will hand it off. Rudman on first down. Rudman at the 45 and brought down at around the 47-yard line.
Max Rudman, the ball carrier. Tackle made by Barrett Waller.
Pickup of about 3 yards there.
Gain of 3 yards. Second down and 7 at the Tigers' 48-yard line.
Clock ticking with 3:30 to go. Tigers maybe just looking to practice some things offensively here, as there's no sense of urgency. They know this game's over. They might just carry the football a few times. They could try and work in some new offensive plays. Rudman gets the first and second down carry, and those 2 carries go for 5 cumulative yards. It'll be third down and 5 here for the Tigers. Under 3 minutes to go now left in regulation. Gatlin in motion from the near to far side. Brush with a toss there to Rudman outside. Rudman up the field. He is right at that first down marker, and it looks like he got it. They'll give it to him. That's a good job for the Tigers, and it's also a good job for the pace of play to finish this game. The Tigers won't have to punt. The clock won't stop, and we can keep it rolling.
And certainly this is good practice for Max Rudman. Obviously gets a lot of snaps regardless if John Price is injured or not. But if this does turn out to be a long-term injury for John Price, it's definitely going to be important to get Max Rudman incorporated, as this is such a run-heavy offense.
You just hope Swarens and Price can get themselves back into the game here. There's a big run by Rudman, so he's really taking advantage of these reps now later in the game. That'll move the chains again. Back-to-back first downs for the Tigers, it appears.
Gain of 11 yards,
and it is a first down there and a pickup of 11.
33-yard line.
Blue Valley hoping they'll see this football team again. I know this one's going to leave a bitter taste in their mouth. They really hung with them in that first half. Sure, in the locker room, they thought they'd have a big second half. They thought they could win this game. It was really anybody's game, and then when Price and Swartens go down, that's tough. You hope you have a healthy roster if you see this team again, hopefully later season in the postseason. Tigers can get some revenge. Here's a handoff to Rudman. No, a fake it to Brush, who slides down, and it's a pickup of 7. That had me tricked there. Nice play. Brush doesn't want to take a hit. Gets 7 yards, and we're under 2 minutes to go at 1:33 left in regulation. It'll be 3rd and 6 here for the Tigers. Blue Valley crowd beginning a chant here. Despite a 48-24 game, Blue Valley's fans staying till that very final whistle.
And we talked about it before the game, Brady. No matter what the score line, when these two Kansas Titans clash, it's always going to be some fireworks in the student section.
First half, certainly some fireworks as well on the field, and in this second half, kind of been a sluggish game.
Ben Dalkey, the ball
Northwest
carrier.
just took it over. Dalkey carries for 5 yards there. It'll bring up
Gain of 4
3rd and
yards.
1 for Blue
Brings up
Valley
3rd down and
with
1 for the
45
Tigers
seconds
at
to
the
go.
Huskies' 24-yard line.
So as this game comes to a close, we'll see the Tigers on the road next week. So Blue Valley won their first game of the season on the road. They improved to 1-0 there. This is a 2-game homestand for the Tigers. It looks like they'll be 1-1 on that homestand. Obviously, this is a tough loss to Northwest, a team that you'd love to beat, conference rival. Bragging rights will go to the Huskies this season unless the Tigers face them again. With 27 seconds to go on that clock, I don't think Blue Valley has to run another play. The clock is stopped after the first down, so they will have to run one more play. Maybe the best drive we've seen this half for Blue Valley, all the way into the red zone now. Too little, too late. Trevor pitches to Rudman. Rudman cuts it up and is down to the 15-yard line, and that will be the last snap of the game. So as the clock reaches triple zeros, the final score is 48-24. Huskies over the Tigers tonight. Looked like it was going to be a good one, but that second half of football is all Huskies. The Tigers fall at home